This is session 7 of project management, and in this session we're going to look at some of the software support for project management. The world is all about computing these days, and project management has changed dramatically as a result of some of the software we now have available.
Project Management Session 7. In this session we look at the role that computing systems can play in terms of helping plan and manage projects effectively. We will look at both conventional project software approaches and also at a contemporary approach called Scrum, which is an iterative, incremental framework for project management often seen in agile software development. Slide 2. Choosing a project software package. Now, project management software packages come in all shapes and sizes. The features you will need from a software package will depend on the complexity and the size of the tasks involved in your project. All good project software packages contain the facility to create Gantt charts and PERT networks. Gantt charts are a basic requirement, and as we have already seen, they contain horizontal bars above a timeline to show when tasks begin and end. The Gantt chart provides a quick overview of your plan and a way of monitoring progress. PERT networks show a much higher level of sophistication. The package can usually draw Gantt charts but also draw sophisticated dependencies between tasks in order to identify critical parts of your work breakdown structure and present it in the form of a network diagram. For example, to build a wall you must first order the bricks, and then the bricks must be delivered. These three tasks, order, deliver, build, must proceed in the correct sequence. A good PERT network allows you to identify these dependencies for complex activities and then identify the critical path. This defines the minimum time in which the overall program can be completed, or highlight where slippages could result in a delay. Now, some of the Windows packages available include Microsoft Project. At the time of writing, the latest version is 2010. However, most people will have 2007, and we will use this later in this session. Minuteman is a low-cost product featuring Gantt and PERT, and it has the ability to export data to Microsoft Project. Microsoft Excel is widely available with most Windows-based computing systems, and as we've already seen, it can be used for producing Gantt charts. And there are other packages which will work on a PDA or a Pocket PC, including Project at Hand and Pocket Plan. These can be synchronized with Microsoft Project. A Google search on project management software will provide an extensive range of possible programs. So, your study questions for this slide, slide 2. What are you looking for from a project management software program? Will you be using a handheld device as part of your management process? Just give some thought to those questions before moving on to the next slide, which will be slide 3. Let's move on to slide 3, introducing Microsoft Project. Now, Microsoft Project is available on many corporate computing networks and is available for individual PCs. In the space of this module, it's not possible to include every detail of Microsoft Project, so it's suggested that you take a look at the following link: http://www.microsoft.com, and then go into the subsections on Project, and then you'll be able to get a view of Microsoft Project 2010. Now, during this session of the module, we will be considering the 2007 version of Microsoft Project, as there is a comprehensive help directory to enable you to create an effective and comprehensive project plan within the minimum space of time. Also, Microsoft Project 2007 is on many corporate systems, whereas 2010 is still in its infancy. So your study questions with this slide are these. Have you accessed the website address for Microsoft Project 2010? Have you conducted a Google or other search engine investigation of project software packages and associated training tutorials. There is an enormous amount of material on the internet about project software. Just take time to look at some of this material. Slide 4. The help areas on Project 2007. Now, when you first open Microsoft Project 2007, it shows a blank task list and a blank Gantt chart. If you then access the Help button on the top toolbar, a range of topics is displayed, such as creating a project, creating tasks, building a schedule, managing multiple tasks, managing resources and assignments, and view management. Each of these areas then breaks down into specific topics. For example, on the Creating a Project page, articles include creating a new project from an existing project or database, the use of templates, and then saving a project. By looking through all 6 areas shown in the slide, you will rapidly gain a good working knowledge of how to use Microsoft Project, which can easily be updated to work with later versions. So, your study questions are these. Can you access a copy of Microsoft Project 2007? Taking one of the earlier examples where a Gantt chart was shown, can you then create the same Gantt chart in Microsoft Project 2007? Just take some time to explore this site and just get familiar with the basics of Microsoft Project. Let's move on to slide 5. Microsoft Project on the web. There is a significant amount of training material for Microsoft Project which is freely available on the internet and the web. In this slide we see a number of examples which the search engines have placed at the top of their rankings. In particular, the trainings offered by Microsoft are excellent, as are most of the video tutorials listed on YouTube. Now, this is a short session, as most of the session is practical work based on investigation and developing your familiarity with Microsoft Project. So really spend most of your time on the study assignment. Work through as many of the links on the slide as you can, and then apply the ideas to any project you may currently be handling. The links are too complex to go through in detail, but all the Microsoft ones are useful, and anything on YouTube tends to be very, very explicit and useful because it presents the information as a video. Slide 6. The Scrum approach. Scrum is an iterative incremental framework for project management, often seen in agile software development, a type of software engineering. It was originally suggested for managing product development projects and is now used for a range of applications, including running software maintenance teams and general project management approaches. It was created in 1986 by Hirotaka Takuchi and Ikejiro Nonaka as a new approach to commercial product development, which would actually increase speed and flexibility, and it was based on case studies from manufacturing companies in the automotive, computer, photocopier and printer industries. The name reflects an holistic approach based on the rugby football approach. The whole process is performed by one cross-functional team across multiple overlapping phases, where the scrum, or whole team, tries to go the distance as a unit, passing the ball back and forth. In 1991, De Grace and Stahl first referred this as the Scrum approach, and a number of other individuals took the method forwards, leading to Schwaber's and Beadle's book Agile Software Development with Scrum, published in 2001. So your study assignment for slide 6 is to carry out a Google or similar search on Scrum and other related words in the slide, including the names of the originators. Slide 7. The characteristics of Scrum. Well, Scrum is a process skeleton that contains sets of practices and predefined roles. And 3 of those roles are the Scrum Master, who maintains the processes in lieu of a project manager, the Product Owner, who represents the stakeholders in the business, and the team, which is a cross-functional group of around 7 people who do the actual analysis, design, implementation, testing, and so forth. The concept of the sprint is important, whereby the team creates a potentially shippable product increment, for example working and testing software. The features that go into a sprint come from the product backlog, which is a prioritized set of high-level requirements of the work to be done. A very useful description of the sprint is given in the Wikipedia entry on Scrum. Scrum promotes good communication and focus of the project team by injecting a sense of urgency. And one key feature is that unpredicted changes, often called requirements churn, can be accommodated in a way that is not easily replicated by conventional project management. So your study assignment for this slide, please work through the Wikipedia entry on Scrum and familiarize yourself with the key roles involved and with the Scrum and Sprint concepts. Forget that one. Study assignment. Work through the Wikipedia entry on Scrum and familiarize yourself with the key roles involved and with the Scrum and Sprint concepts. Slide 8. Scrum.org. Schwaber and Sutherland now have a website, www.scrum.org, from which a useful summary of the key features of Scrum may be downloaded. A Google search shows many references, including some quite controversial items. So your study assignment for this slide is to access www.scrum.org and read through the Scrum Guide. Also, investigate your personal strengths with regard to project management using the website's assessment tool. Finally, in slide 9, we have a few thoughts about the references. Now, the references for this session are all computer and internet based. Microsoft project websites give a significant amount of information, and the Wikipedia summary of Scrum provides a very useful overview. And the website www.scrum.org provides access to both the Scrum Guide and the assessment tool. So if you just follow up those references on the internet, you will start to get a very good grasp of what Scrum is all about and also what general project management software is all about, particularly Microsoft Project. Thank you.